coming up a really great panel session with some real heavyweights in procurement leadership. Can I ask to come up to the panel stage Carol Rezak from DRB, the group CPO. Carol. Ariel Faraon from our JG Summit group in the Philippines. We love you, Ariel. Come on up. And Jaswinder Sani from Tata Play. Jaswinder, thank you for coming. All that, you've come a long way. We know you came 6,527 kilometers. And I'll be the moderator, but these are the guys that will be fielding. And some questions have come in over the app. I didn't get a chance to mention the app much this morning. We have an app. I hope you've downloaded it, and you can go there, ask questions, and do some other things. So have a look at that. Okay, gentlemen, welcome. And I've been told that I have to stay on script because I can easily get lost in the weeds. So I think you guys, we've got 4, this is how they've classified you all, 4 bold leaders, 4 very different journeys that you're all following. You probably will get, a minute or so to maybe quickly talk about where you're from. You have very unique backgrounds and very powerful stories in terms of transformation and what you've been doing. So I'll say to our experts, that's you, the experts, let's start with, we'll jump straight in. The theme really is about rewiring and the change. The change is going to happen in the journeys that you're currently in. Maybe starting out by figuring out where you are, first of all, where you are in the journey of moving and transforming into heavy automation and AI. Then we'll talk about agentic AI in a minute. But I think we'll start off maybe, Carl, you've been leading procurement transformation at DRB. Now, most of you locals will know DRB-HICOM very well. Some of you may not. You may want to just do a quick blurb on DRB-HICOM. But basically, what's some behind-the-scenes tips that you can share with people in this audience when deploying, first of all, the enterprise-wide source-to-pay?
I don't know, Carl. I have to ask my agent.
It's gone.
Okay, for those of you who doesn't know DRB-HICOM is one of the biggest conglomerates in Malaysia. Yeah? We have our business in 6 main sectors. 70% of our business are automotive. We have property, we have banking, we have postal services, and also we have aerospace industry. Yeah? So it's very diversified, I think various sectors. So I think one of the challenges of us is because of our diversifications in terms of implementing one single platform for all the companies. So I think my advice to the team always, do not underestimate the power of stakeholder engagement early on. So how we approach this, I myself go and convince the leadership team, tell all the nice rosy picture where we want to be in terms of procurement transformations, moving from transactional to what we call strategic, knowing that the maturity level of our procurement teams are quite low at that point of time. So we went there, convinced the leadership team that we must do this, and then once leadership team give an agreement, so it became a mandate to everybody that we have to use one single platform. The issue with us, because of our diversity, I think with many platforms, we always have a governance issue, because data are everywhere, the process are different, and so on. So what we did after we get mandate from the leadership team, So the team are working with all the working level in the organization. So, for example, last week we have a big event. We bring everybody together in one room. We lock everybody and we do a workshop. Yeah. So until we come to the agreement, what do we need in terms of our processes, in terms of our standardization? Yeah. We cannot standardize everything, but at least we managed to achieve 70-80% of the processes are standardized. So again, that's how we do it. I think stakeholder engagement early on.
Yep. I agree, and I think it's an interesting, but it leads us to another kind of conglomerate scenario. You guys are, I don't know if you would like that terminology of conglomerate, but you're many industries and many stakeholders. So I think you've got that level of complexity that moves nicely to Ariel. And just to be clear, we are being very fair and balanced here. We have Zycus customer and non-Zycus customer, but we're lighting a candle and saying a prayer. But it's a similar, but the JG Summit, for those of you, you may want to comment on who JG Summit is, but I can really see that there's a similarity in levels of complexity around what you guys have been through already, and maybe where you are, Ariel.
So JG Summit Holdings Incorporated is the mother company of 3 holdings company actually. So we are a very diversified group. We are into airline, Cebu Pacific. Then we are into hotel businesses. We have real estate. We have food manufacturing, URC Munchies. If you are from Malaysia, that is actually a brand in Malaysia, URC Munchies. Then we are also in petrochemicals and a lot. And now we have a new venture in healthcare. So we have just acquired 2 years ago the MaxiCare Healthcare Corporation, and it's a big group also of company, and we are building, and we want to be the biggest healthcare provider in the country in 3 years. So our challenge actually, because we are so diversified, is just like the DRB-HICOM, we have different levels of maturity in terms of procurement. So there are strategic business units that are very much advanced when it comes to the practice of strategic procurement, to the practice of category management. But the common among all of these business units is we don't have a single platform. And my president once asked me, since 2019, a very big question that until now I cannot answer, Ariel, what's the size of the elephant? What's the size of the elephant? He's referring to the total spend of the conglomerate. So what's the size of the elephant, Ariel? And I think he got tired of asking me the question that I cannot answer, because we don't have that single platform that can tell me what's the size of the elephant, until he asked me, Ariel, if you cannot give me the size of the elephant, can you at least give me the size of the ear of the elephant? So the direction of the top management is to have that visibility of how much we are spending, where our money are going, how are we managing the cost. But the challenge is we don't have the platform that will tell us with certainty how we are spending, how much we are spending, where the spend are going. Now, in 2019, we embarked on a journey. We standardized our processes, we fixed the fundamentals, and we discussed about getting one platform. And unfortunately, it halted because of the pandemic. But during the time, to tell you honestly, we have already chosen Zycus, but we did not tell them that we have chosen them. So, but we have already chosen Zycus because first and foremost, they have a very good spend analytics suite. So that's the most attractive. That's the suite that really attracted us the most. And then, but during that time, again, what we did was every quarter we gather all the procurement. I think we are the only function across the conglomerate that has a very strong banding together. So we have I am the head of governance across the three holdings, and therefore the policies, the processes emanates from my team, and also I am heading the procurement of IT. So I think the only challenge that we will encounter when we will make the proposal again to the management for that single platform is how to convince them that it's worth it. But with the coming of agentic AI, I think we can do a better business case to tell management that it's worth investing, because if we will not do this now, agentic AI is the present. It's not even the future. It's the present. So I think that's a strong case that we can convince our top management to approve our proposal, and hopefully it will be Zycus.
Okay. Wow, that's like a walking billboard, but thank you, Ariel. It's an interesting, because I was leaning more towards the agentic AI transformation of where you guys, and I think you had a chance to analyze it at the highest level, the cost savings and where you can get value from agentic AI. Jaswinder, sorry, you've been very patient. You've been very patient. Tata Play has been running on multiple Zycus solutions. As you think about rewiring your procurement processes, where do you see the biggest opportunity for agentic AI?
Okay, a little introduction to Tata Play. So we are part of a larger Tata Group company. We are DTH service provider in field of delivering content to home through satellite. And we have been very leading in terms of adopting all the new technologies. We never shy away from adopting all the new technologies. We have been working with Zycus for last 7 years, and we use almost all the modules of Zycus, and we are pretty happy with it. And we have recently started onboarding Agentic AI, and we have started working and configuring it for our organization, and hopefully very soon we'll be able to do the trial of automated negotiations. So
wow, yeah, that's great. That's great.
So we have been able to do many first in the industry, many first in the country, and probably, I don't know, I'm not sure you can certify, we could be the very first organization to have agentic AI in the country.
I think that's a yes. Everyone is saying that. Well, we'd have to give you a special award because, but it sounds like, because, okay, now that's a very interesting scenario because you can talk to, I guess, the beginning, the kickoff of that journey and kind of where you're at now and where maybe some tips or some things, kind of lessons learned at least to this point, or if there's any.
Okay, so throughout the journey, one of the greatest lessons that we have learned is step one, that I think lot of people, a lot of organizations have is the clean data. So if somebody comes and asks, can any tool give a relevant output on a not so great data? Answer is no. It's a very clear no. So first step every organization has to take is to cleanse the data. If data is not clean, no tool, howsoever good you may have, it will never give a good result. That is the step one. Step two, that learning we have done is every tool will have its own pitfalls. Like I am very sure I am going to face at least 100 problems in implementing this agentic AI in the real world, which I
100?
Yeah, of course.
Whoa.
And with the passage of time, we have to cross each hurdle one by one.
Sure.
And those are because we are doing it for the first time, we don't even know today what they will be.
Yeah, sure.
But we have to be patient enough and confident enough that it will happen. And at least from my side and from my organization side, we are very confident that this is going to work.
Yeah, no, I love that kind of enthusiasm because I think that's what it takes for people who are going to set the bar ahead of the industry. Just on the timing, so I know these questions that have come in. We're not going to get to all of them, but there's a lot here. I want to talk a little bit to all of you about risk compliance and this whole AI shift. So maybe I will start with Carl, back to you. What's your current view on supplier risk management, and maybe speaking directly to Zycus, our Merlin risk radar, and how that can help organizations?
I think supplier risk management is become critical to organizations. If not the top, it has to be the top 5 priorities for procurement in the organization. I myself had learned bad experience in terms of risk management. I still remember those days, I think 10 years ago, when one of my suppliers, having their tier 2 suppliers, which is my tier 3 supplier, which are operating in Vietnam, and what they do, they're using a child labor. And I remember those incidents. Monday morning when I go to the office, my CEO called me, so we have to stop production because that company is closed because they're using a child labor.
Wow.
So I learned bad lesson on that. So again, the issue is visibility on our supply chain. So we're having that problem because we do not have that visibility. I think Merlin AI will be able to help us in that manner, having that visibility on supply chains.
Yeah. No, that's a terrible scenario, by the way. And
I almost lost my job,
Really? You nearly lost your job. Wow. Okay, that is serious. Jaswinder, how does risk visibility influence the supplier collaboration with at Tata?
Okay, so we are very, very sensitive about our brand. There is zero tolerance on brand and ethics for Tatas. So, in current scenario, how we evaluate risk is there is set template, set process, set guidelines to monitor a risk. So that is a present best way to manage a risk. But what I see from where I see that scenarios change on a very dynamic basis, and we need to change the way we look at the risk in that dynamic fashion. And in current scenario, the entire procurement fraternity is so tied up with their day-to-day routine jobs that we are not able to focus on changing that metrics on a regular basis. If I see that will be probably a year or more than a year old framework on which we are evaluating risk. So this new tool, Agentic AI coming in, can help us modify the assessment of risk on a real-time basis. That will give us a visibility far ahead of time so that we don't topple on that risk and we don't end up in situations like losing jobs.
No.
My job.
No, it's great, and it's great because you make it sound. That's an exciting place to be, actually, because you're talking about the AI agents in risk identification, and you're talking about compliance, and you're talking about we talked about negotiation. So it's a great time for you guys to be looking at the AI agents. Okay, shifting gears. Vision for the road ahead. Now you don't get long, you're on the clock. Ariel, imagine JG Summit's procurement team 2 years from now with intake, orchestration, and insights powered by AI agents. What does success look like? What does that look like, and how do you see your role in that?
2 years from now, success for me is achieving the direction of my boss, which is to achieve one-click procurement by 2028. So that's the vision of the whole procurement. And we want to transform also the way our people work from very transactional to something that is more strategic. And among the 3 functions of procurement, so I've learned this from PASIA. We have our guys from PASIA here. So we have risk management, we have purchasing cost reduction, and the last one is value creation. We're very good at value creation and purchasing cost reduction. But we lack our ability to do effective risk management, especially looking at the supply chain perspective. Given our current landscape, supply chain landscape, I need the direction of the company is to for procurement to focus on risk management, and I think having a single platform and with agentic AI, it will change everything, because agentic, we will just leave the transactional thing to agentic AI, and even the compliance thing, some parts of the risk management, the assessment of the risk on the suppliers, we can leave that to agentic AI, and we will do strategic decision making. We can extract strategic recommendations from the data that we got from the agentic AI.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm old enough to remember the old days, you know, way back in the ERP, when we found out this workflow thing. You know, all of a sudden, tactical things could just be really negated. So I think this is now the next, way next version. Okay, I'm going to ask all you guys, and this is, it's one of those nebulous questions that you can go anywhere. Don't go off wandering around talking about all sorts of things. The question is, I'll start with you. Complete this sentence. In the future, procurement teams who ignore agentic AI will
fall behind. Definitely, they fall behind.
Wow, that was quick. That was too fast. Anything else?
Well, where what is important for us is again, faster, cheaper, better. Yeah? So when you are having slower decision making, yeah, where you do not have support in terms of making decision, then we will left behind, while our competitors is already ahead of time.
I totally agree. And I think because, like I was saying earlier, is if you don't, the risk is your competitors will, and that's where it will be a big effect. Ariel, what do you think?
For me, procurement will become the procurement team who will not adopt agentic AI will become